Hey everybody, Brannon Beliso here. Today I've been feeling in that rebellious mood, so I'm posting another live video while I'm driving. I promise to do my best not to look at the phone. Maybe it'll rile some of you people. I feel it, much like the state of our nation, that the martial arts industry is just at this great place. Things are growing, but on the flip side, as things are growing, of course, things are dying. And what I see starting to happening in our industry, and you can back me up on this, is that the schools that are not running as professional small businesses, I'm not going to say just martial arts schools, I just want to say as professional small businesses are either breaking even, just getting by each month, or they're failing miserably. And I really, really, really want to help you. In order to do that, I recognize, and I say this all the time, I cannot be a good teacher unless you are a good student. I cannot be a good teacher unless you are a good student. And that's a big one for me. I work with so many school owners and they get so excited and they're going to make so many changes because we do know change is the key to success. Do we all agree upon that? I mean, nothing changes until something changes. And if your business is not growing, then something needs to happen in order for it to grow. Something needs to happen in order for it to grow. Now, maybe you've decided, I don't need to grow. I'm happy with my lifestyle. I'm happy with where I'm at. And that's fine too. Just remember, complacency is the enemy. When you get too complacent, you get too comfortable. That's when things can begin to slip, such as your health, right? You've been doing great there. You've dropped 10, 15 pounds and boom, all of a sudden 5 of it's back and 10 of it's back because you got complacent. Just because I see a small amount of success doesn't mean that success will continue unless I keep doing those things. When I talk to school owners that were once upon a time successful based upon their terms and they no longer are, I ask them, what did you do to become successful? And they go, well, I did A, B, and C. So then I ask them, are you still doing A, B, and C? And 99.9% of the time, they're all going to tell me, no, I'm not. And then I'm going to ask them, why? And 99% of the time, they have no answer for me. And that's because they lost their focus. Darren Hardy, who's one of my mentors who I follow, he said, with massive success comes massive focus. I believe it's the same thing here. You have to focus 24/7, 365 to not only work towards your goals, but to achieve those goals. So one of the things I'm going to work on November 6th with all the different school owners is really helping understand, who are you today? Are you the complacent person? Are you the person with no focus? Are you the person who creates these unobtainable goals just to set yourself up for self-sabotage? Which one are you? Because if I can understand who I am, I can begin to make those changes. My big challenge is being a creative person, and this is no excuse. I tend to have 3 or 4 irons in the fire, and I methodically chip away at each one. When we know the trademark of a successful person is the fact that they consistently do one thing until it's done. I can say I got my book done. That's one great thing. My second child's book is almost done, and I'm directing all my time to our rebranding of Kids Love Life Skills. So things are happening. But I also realized they would happen more efficiently, they would happen quicker if I simply did one thing until it was done. One thing until it was done. And that's for anybody. Any task you got going on, typical. This might be this for the men out there. You know, you'll see you kind of half did this towel rack, you half started cleaning the garage, you half, you know, and that kind of half stuff is everywhere. And it happens because we start something with this sense of enthusiasm, with this deep motivation, and then we lose that focus. So then I ask myself, why does that happen? Well, maybe you weren't passionate about what you were doing to begin with. You just got really excited about it, right? So it's all those different things as we get ready for 2017. And that's a big one for me. 2017 starts now. It starts on November 6th. It starts by creating the right mindset to achieve your goals, not mine. It starts by planning your entire annual calendar for 2017, vacations and all. It starts by defining your values and vision. And I know I sing that song all the time and people go, oh, how's that going to get me 10 new students? How's that going to grow with my business? Well, definitively speaking, if I know why I want to do business with you versus the other person, then I now have purpose. I do business with you because you have the best pizza in town. I do business with you because you offer the best service above anybody else. I do business with you because I believe you're the most knowledgeable, trustworthy person in your field. You see where I'm going with that? So we must give people, the consumer, a compelling reason why they need to do business with us. But on the flip side, I, as an entrepreneur, or I, just as a person, need to have that same passion, that same purpose, that same reason why I want to do business with myself. Whether that's losing weight, whether that's climbing a mountain, whether that's jumping out of an airplane, whether that's investing more into my retirement, whether that's changing my life completely so I can be with the kids 24/7. Whatever that may be, it has to go beyond just the spark, the sizzle up front that tends to exist with most of us. It's easy to start out that race fast, right? Tortoise in the hare. But slow and steady wins the race. Because we know the hare got bored, so he laid down, took a nap, and the tortoise passed him up. It's the same thing here. It's human nature. It stood the test of time. It's who we are as human beings. So you say, that's all well and fine, Brannon. How do I break out of that cycle? Well, number one, I'm going to ask you to wake up every day and create that mindset of gratitude. Whatever that takes, I need you to be grateful. Like you can hear the raspiness in my voice. I found out yesterday, I went to the doctor, I have pneumonia. It's past the contagious phase. I'm on my way out, but I'm on antibiotics. And I'm on this cough syrup. So immediately, I was grateful for my health. The health that I do have. I immediately just took care of little things around the house that I've been meaning to get to. I promised I wouldn't do any work. Got up the Halloween decorations, and because I'm not the type of person to lie down. It's just not me. So I was grateful I was sick because it gave me the opportunity to take care of a lot of things around the house that I needed to. Today I got the car washed. I'm going to go get a haircut, and then go home and try to do very little. So an attitude of gratitude goes a long way. And we're going to do a lot of vision mapping on that on November 6th. So this isn't just for martial artists on November 6th, please. Anybody that wants to better their life, anybody that believes they want the freedom that comes with being an entrepreneur and a small business owner, then you should join me on November 6th. Because once we can establish that mindset, or as I say, the foundation, guess what? You can build anything on it. Anything can be built upon it. But we can't just spin our wheels. We can't just talk the talk. We have to walk the talk. And you can only do that with a strong mindset, a strong heart filled with passion and conviction. But without an action plan, without a direction, then you're like a dog chasing its tail. You're going nowhere, nowhere fast. So those are some of the things we're going to discuss on November 6th. You know what else we're going to work on November 6th? Systems. We all need systems. Systems help us consistently deliver at a high level, right? Say I go to a kickboxing class, and systematically I get up every day and I go at 6 a.m. Systematically, right? And I do that kickboxing class. Systematically, I eat A, B, C, and nothing else. Systematically, I go to sleep at a certain hour, wake up at a certain hour. Systematically, then I'm going to be in better health than most people, right? The first thing we're going to talk about in systems is why. Why do you need this system? Well, think about it. Can I put my car in drive without starting it first? I don't think so, right? Unless I'm trying to pop the clutch rolling it down a hill. But beyond that, I must open the door, I must get in the car, I must turn on the car, I must stick it in gear, I must drive. Those are 4 simple steps of a system. Why do I need that system? Because I can't drive the car and get from A to B otherwise. Systems. We're going to spend a lot of time with systems. But in my travels, I was all over the country: Seattle, Springfield, New York, Charlotte, Tampa. And in my journeys, I really met a diverse dynamics of people. All people with great hearts, all people with good souls, all people that deserve to be wildly successful. But they're not at the level of success that they truly deserve. And sometimes it's just the most minute little turn of a screw, boom, to change that mindset, the smallest of things. It doesn't have to be these big, grandiose strokes of change. It could be the smallest of changes to shift that mindset. It could be simply cutting sugar out of your diet. It could simply be getting up 30 minutes before the kids in the morning and spending some me time. It could be, and it's really finding that combination to get you unstuck, to get you focused, to get you in the mindset to execute consistently through these systems each and every day. Saving is an example of that. If I consistently save money for my retirement, well, guess what? I'm going to have money when I retire. I can gratefully say by the grace of God, I'm able to do that every year now. And I've done so for the past decade. And it's looking good. It's getting there. It's getting there. Because here's an example somebody shared with me yesterday, my financial advisor, Sam, one of my financial advisors. He said, when you're young and foolish and you have no money, people say that's okay. It's expected, right? But when you're old with no money, that would be an earmark that you did not have a very successful life. I would have to agree with that to a certain extent. Because if I methodically, and you hear those kind of stories all the time, janitor dies with $8 million, sitting in the bank because he methodically saved money consistently. You don't have to make a lot of money to save money. You just have to be disciplined to save it. If I make $100 and I spend $50, I have $50 in the bank. I make $1 million and I spend $2 million, I am $1 million in debt. You feel me? So we'll spend a lot of time with systems. And most definitely, I think the big one for all of us, what I love about this, whether it's business or personally, understanding what is your unique service point, understanding what your purpose is really defines to Joe Consumer why they want to do business with you. I can't say that one enough. If I see one more martial arts school that says Family Martial Arts Center with somebody in a silhouette kicking, oh man, you're better than that. You have a story to be told. All of us do. All of us have a unique story that deserves to be told. Every one of us. And once we recognize that we have that story to be told, once we recognize that it deserves to be told. You know, that was a big one in writing my book. I sat there and I said, well, why am I going to write this book? Nobody's going to read it. Nobody's going to care. You know, but you know what? If one person reads that book and it makes a difference in their life, then my story needs to be told. And that gave me the courage to write that book. Where each and every one of you have a unique story to be told. You really, really do. And don't think because you don't make billions of dollars that you're not worthy of your story being told. That's just so wrong. You know, in the culture that we live in, where we put our self-worth, where we put our value upon how much money we make purely. And I know that might sound a little bit hypocritical because I share the money that I make. And I only do that to show the small business owner the potential of a service-based versus a sales-based business. That is the only reason I share that. But does that amount of money make me a good person? Absolutely not. It doesn't. Like they said in Wall Street, and I use that quote a lot, I never knew you judged a man by how thick his wallet was. That's what Martin Sheen said to his son. I never want to base my self-worth purely upon money. Money is not my God. Money is a vehicle. And recognize that. So, I do. I give to many charities. I donate a lot. We have scholarships in our martial arts school where we scholarship people. And I think that's important. That attitude of paying it forward. Of living from the law of abundance. Without being careless, of course. Again, if I make $100 and I spend 50, I got 50 in the bank. Yeah, could I be driving a Tesla SUV right now? Yeah, I could. But why don't I? Because it's not necessary. It's a freaking car. As long as it gets me from A to B, and it runs really well, then I'm cool with that. Right? Especially in San Francisco, oh my God. That car gets keyed and dinged and scratched, and I could tell you stories about having a nice car in San Francisco. So I encourage you to join me on November 6th. I really, really do. It's going to be enlightening. It's going to be way beyond the simple nuts and bolts of planning your 2017 calendar. It's going to go way beyond just designing systems. It's going to go way beyond just establishing your unique service point. It's going to go way beyond a rotating curriculum, which is something we really need to address. I'm going to spend so much time breaking it down. Nobody's going to walk out of November 6th without understanding how to do a rotating curriculum. Because if you're not doing that, you're really hurting yourself and your school and the growth and the quality of your product. I believe that. It took me forever to wrap my head around that. But more than all of that, I promise you, you'll walk out of November 6th with the tools to create the life that you deserve. And know that you deserve an amazing life. Not a good life. You deserve an amazing life. And I hope to give you that. Cool? So go to brannonbeliso.com, look under events, look for It's Time Live presented by Rainmaker Membership Systems and Vision Martial Arts USA. They are my sponsors. They support me. And I thank them every day for that. Because my message is not a standard one in our industry. My message is very cutting edge, so it's almost borderline where people think it's kind of crazy. But I appreciate Rainmaker and Vision for sharing in some of my vision of what I'm trying to achieve. Cool? So go to brannonbeliso.com, look under events, look for It's Time Live on November 6th, get signed up today. All right, folks, until we talk again, go out there and make a difference.